Hey fam, what's happening? It's Ben here with another vinyasa practice, and today we're going to be doing a lot of standing postures, a lot of single leg balancing. Today's practice is going to be about 20 minutes long, and the goal is really to create stability in the lower body, using the core to help us maintain balance, as well as maybe a little upper body strength and stability along the way. So with all that being said, let's get started at the top of the mat, facing forward into Tadasana. Bring the hands into a prayer position in front of the heart. Close the eyes. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. 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 Roll the neck around a few times. Follow your intuition, move in the ways that feel natural. Maybe release the arms down. Let's give ourselves a few breaths. Loosening things up before we begin to balance. Shake things out a little bit, take some twists side to side. And I'm doing all these kind of nice, easy movements at the beginning because, again, balancing, it kind of requires us to hold on a little bit. And because that it's easy to create tension in the body, it's easy to maybe create a little bit too much tightness. And so movements like this allow us to create ease and looseness in the body. And even though there's effort in every balance, in every posture, we also want to make sure there's a sense of ease within the posture as well. Even in balances, we want to make sure we're still breathing. We want to make sure there's still a sense of fluidity. Go ahead and take the right arm in some big circles. And then switch directions, go the other way. I like to do these while balling up the fist because it helps kind of activate some of those muscles into the forearms, around the elbows. And then let's do the left arm. So take the left arm in some big circles. Then switch directions, go the other way. Come through center. Reach both hands up to the sky. And then lift the left knee up into the chest. Extend the left leg forward. And then bend the left knee again. Warrior 3, airplane arms. Swing the arms back behind you as the left leg extends all the way behind you. Optional, bind of the fingertips behind the low back. Totally optional. Then return to stork pose or one-legged Tadasana. Left knee into the chest, arms up. Inhale. Exhale, just release down. Shake out the knees a little bit. And then float the right knee up into the chest. Hands up. Extend the right leg. Then re-bend the right knee. Warrior 3, arms extend back. Find your breath. Optional bind. And then rise back up. One-legged Tadasana, right leg in, hands up, inhale. Exhale, release down to standing. Let's keep adding on. So left foot lifts, arms up, inhale. Exhale, warrior 3. Come back to stork pose or one-legged Tadasana, inhale. And then release down onto the mat. Right foot lifts, right knee lifts, inhale. Warrior 3, extend back. Rise up, inhale. Stork pose, and then exhale, release down. Let's add on. So left knee lifts, hands up, inhale. Warrior 3, exhale, left leg extends back. Stork pose, one-legged Tadasana, left knee in. And then this time, rotate open, balancing half moon. Take this one nice and slow. It does require opening in the hips, so we've only been going for a few minutes. Take your time. As you may have noticed, I just kind of wobbled out of the posture. It's okay, there's time to wobble out, to get back in. And then let's try to return to stork pose. Left knee pulls in, rise up, hands up, and then everything releases. All right, this time give yourself an extra moment to shake things out. In fact, let's go ahead and reach the hands all the way up to the sky. Inhale. And then forward fold, exhale. Relax in the forward fold. Find a halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Hands to the sky, inhale. Hands to heart center, exhale. Let's float the right knee, hands up. Warrior 3, extend back. Stork pose, rise back up, or one-legged Tadasana, and then open into balancing half moon. So we rotate the hips open, extend the right leg back, left hand down, right hand up to the sky. Hips are kind of stacked on top of one another. I like to keep a bend in the standing knee, helps with my stability. Rise back up, right knee into chest, inhale, and then release to standing, exhale. Shake things out a little bit. And let's continue to add on. So left knee lifts, hands up, inhale. Warrior 3, exhale. Stork pose, inhale. Half moon, open up. As you open up, breathe. Stork pose, pull the left knee in, rise up. This time we'll step back, high crescent lunge. Left foot all the way back, hands up to the sky. Let's take a few breaths here. So there's been a lot of moving and grooving. This time we're finding a lunge. Feel the sensation, the stretch in the front of the left hip. Give yourself a couple breaths. From here, breath in. On the exhale, hands release down. Step back to plank pose. Take a push-up, so lower to chaturanga. Come back up to plank. And then find downward facing dog. From down dog, look forward, rise to the toes, bend the knees, walk or take a little hop to the top of the mat, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Hands up to the sky, inhale. Hands to heart center, exhale. Go ahead and float the right knee, hands up, inhale. Warrior 3, exhale, extend back. Stork pose, inhale, come back up. Half moon, open, right leg extends back. Open hips, feel the wobbles, embrace it. And then stork pose, pull the right knee in, hands up, inhale. Exhale, step back, prepare for high crescent lunge. Hands up, and then breathe. Soften through the shoulders while we create and maintain length in the spine. If you're still with me, great job. I know these are kind of interesting transitions and we're kind of working with opening and closing of the hip joint. So it's worthwhile to take things at your own pace. As well as this being a class where it might suit you to be a little bit warmed up heading into the class as well. So if you came into this class cold, that's okay. Just giving yourself the wiggle room to figure things out the first few rounds as we continue to open. All right, let's take a breath in. On the exhale, hands down. Plank pose, step back, and then take a push-up. So slow lower down, slow rise back up, downward dog. From down dog, rise to the toes, bend the knees, look forward, walk or take a hop, top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Hands up, inhale. Hands to heart center, exhale. Hands up to the sky, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Hands up to the sky once again, inhale. Hands to heart center, exhale. Let's float the left knee. As the left knee floats, hands up, inhale. Exhale, left leg extends back, warrior 3. Inhale, left knee into the chest, hands up. Balancing half moon. Go ahead and open everything. Stork pose, left knee into the chest. Step back, high crescent lunge. Inhale, hands up. Adding on, this time, warrior 2. From warrior 2, find reverse triangle. So lift up, allow a right leg to extend, and then shift forward. Find your triangle pose. Find the breath once you find triangle pose. We're in no rush here. From triangle pose, rise up to standing, pivot the feet, and then find Skandasana lunge, back of the mat. From here, Skandasana lunge, front of the mat. So staying low, just switching sides, turning everything to face forward, and then step into your forward fold, top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold on the exhale. Hands up to the sky, inhale. Hands down to heart center, exhale. Hands reach to the sky, inhale. Forward fold, softly exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Just a little half sun salutation, fold, exhale. Hands to the sky, inhale. Hands to heart center, exhale. Let's float the right knee when you're ready. Took me a second to remember what side, so right knee lifts, take an inhale. Then exhale, extend back. Inhale, rise back up, stork. Balancing half moon, open. Stork pose, right knee in, rise up. Step back, high crescent. Hands up to the sky. And then open warrior two position. Reverse triangle, so shift up and back, left hand to the sky, straighten the left leg. Come forward, triangle pose. From triangle pose, we have 1 or 2 more breaths, pressing into the left toes, breathing along the way. Rise up to stand, pivot for a moment, and then back of the mat. Skandasana lunge, front of the mat. Skandasana lunge. Turn everything to face forward, and then step top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold on the exhale. Hands up to the sky, inhale. Hands to heart center, exhale. All right, let's keep finding more rhythm. Float the left knee, hands up, inhale. Exhale, extend back, warrior three. Inhale, stork, lift. Exhale, half moon. Inhale, stork, left knee lifts. Exhale, step back, high crescent lunge. On the inhale, hands up to the sky. Warrior two, exhale, open. Inhale, reverse warrior or reverse triangle. Exhale, find triangle pose. Create lots of space. Rise up to stand, Skandasana lunge, back of the mat. Let it be a journey. Skandasana lunge, front of the mat. Turn everything to face forward, and then step to the top of your space, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold on the exhale. Hands up to the sky, inhale. Exhale, hands to heart center. So this is where we even start to create a little cardio, right? Even a little cardiovascular work, which is not something that I usually say in a yoga practice. But a practice like this, we're definitely moving and grooving. We're moving all around the mat. So if you start to feel out of breath, know that that's okay. That's kind of what we're looking to create here. And knowing that your movements don't have to be perfect. They can be a work in progress. In fact, that's how we get better. So it's kind of encouraged. But you're doing great. So let's lift the right knee into the chest. Hands up, inhale. Exhale, send it back, warrior three. Inhale, rise up, stork. Half moon, open. Stork, rise up. Crescent lunge, step back. Inhale, hands up. Warrior two, exhale. Inhale, reverse. Triangle pose, come forward. Rise up to stand. Give yourself a moment, and then back of the mat, Skandasana. Front of the mat, Skandasana. Turn to face forward, step to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold, exhale. Hands to the sky, inhale. Hands to heart center, exhale. Let's keep it going. Left knee lifts, inhale. Warrior three, exhale. Stork pose, rise up, inhale. Half moon, open, exhale. Stork pose, rise up, inhale. Step left foot back, exhale, lunge. Inhale, hands to the sky. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, triangle pose. Inhale, rise to stand. Exhale, Skandasana. Skandasana facing forward or top of the mat, and then turn to face forward, step to the top, forward fold. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Float the right knee. Extend the right leg back, warrior three. Float the right knee up, stork. Balancing half moon, open. Rise back up, stork. Step back, lunge. Inhale, hands lift. Exhale, warrior two position. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, triangle pose. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, Skandasana. Skandasana, front of the mat. Face forward, lunge for or step forward, halfway lift, forward fold. Hands to the sky, inhale. Hands to heart center, exhale. Float the left knee, inhale. Warrior three, exhale, left leg extends back. Stork pose, inhale, rise up. Half moon, open. Stork pose, rise back up, left knee in. Exhale, step the left foot back. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, triangle. Inhale, rise up. Skandasana, back of the mat. Skandasana, front of the mat. Turn to face forward. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Hands to the sky. Hands to heart center. Right knee lifts. Right leg extends back. Right knee into the chest. Half moon. Stork pose, right knee into the chest. Step back into your lunge. Hands up to the sky. Warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, triangle pose. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, Skandasana. Skandasana, front of the mat. Turn to face forward. Step up, fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold on the exhale. Hands to the sky, inhale. Hands to heart center, exhale. Last round, you got this. Left knee lifts, inhale. Exhale, extend back. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, half moon, open. Inhale, rise back up, left knee into the chest. And then step back into your lunge. Inhale, hands up. Warrior two, exhale. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, triangle pose. Inhale, rise up. Skandasana, back of the mat. Skandasana, front of the mat. Turn to face forward. Forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold on the exhale. Hands up to the sky, inhale. Hands to heart center, exhale. Right knee lifts. Right leg extends back. Right knee lifts once again. Open to half moon. Right knee lifts into the chest. Step back into your lunge. Hands to the sky. Warrior two, open. Reverse warrior. Triangle posture. Rise up to stand. Skandasana, back of the mat. Skandasana, front of the mat. Turn to face forward. Forward fold. Halfway lift. This time step back into plank pose. Hold your plank pose for 10. 9. You got this for 8. Find your breath. 7. 6. 5. You can always drop the knees down, but try to stay with me for 5. 4. Last 3. Last 2. On 1, drop down to either child's pose or a neutral seated position. Close the eyes. Take a few breaths. Maybe grab a sip of water. Just breathe for a moment. Let things slow down, feel stable, feel close to the ground. The next thing we'll do is lay down onto our belly, finding a sphinx pose, bringing the forearms onto the mat. So elbows can be beneath the shoulders or slightly in front of the shoulders. Feet can go to the back corners of the mat. Shoulders press down away from the ears. Just breathe here. If you want to roll the neck around, you could roll the neck around. After all that balancing, let this be a posture that feels very close to the ground, very rooted, with still an element of opening and spinal extension. We didn't do too many back bends today. No upward facing dog, no cobra pose. And so let this be a nice way to move into spinal extension while staying nice and close to our grounded surface beneath us. In fact, this is where I will leave you for today's practice, my friends. I recommend taking maybe another few breaths in Sphinx pose, then maybe either just laying flat on the belly or spending a few moments laying flat on the back afterwards, creating more of a neutral spine. And again, giving yourself a few breaths to feel grounded and resting before moving on to your next activity, because this flow that we did today was not only a lot for the body, it was a lot for the mind. A lot of interesting transitions, open angles, closed angles. And so let yourself have at least 2 or 3 minutes at the very minimum to soften and find a little more restorative energy so that we can all move forward through the rest of our day with a little bit of peace and centeredness, which will help us and also maybe even help the people around us. With all this being said, thank you so much for joining me for today's practice. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate you being part of the energy, and I appreciate the opportunity to land on our mats together. So I hope you have a beautiful day ahead. I hope to see you sometime soon. And yeah, just have a peaceful day. Keep it real.